cryptocurrency education that you're going to receive. Guys, I am super excited because I look at the names and I look at the countries that you're from. I mean, we've got representatives out of South Africa, Sweden, Germany, Argentina, the Caribbean. The list goes on and on and on, guys. And again, we just got started. So imagine a few weeks from now, a few months from now, guys, when we're at 500,000 members, 1 million members, 5 million members, and you got started at the very, very beginning with BitFundZa. This is why we are excited to partner with people just like you around the world. But what we want to do today, guys, is we want to really train you on how to present what we do. Because at the end of the day, the more knowledge you have about how to share this information with people, the more you're going to get galvanized, right? You're going to get so excited when you present it that instead of people saying, no, I'm not interested, they're going to be like, why are you so excited? Because on a daily basis, guys, all I do is I live, breathe, and eat Bitcoin, blockchain, and alternative coin technology. That's all I do. That's all I think about. Besides working out and drinking beer and rescuing animals, that's all I really do. I really just talk about Bitcoin, read about Bitcoin. I don't even watch TV because it's a waste of time. But it's amazing what you can learn when you have a passion. And when you, like Peter was telling me, many more years of blessings, which is wonderful. You know, on my birthday, I thank you, Peter, for that. But what you got to realize, guys, is the day that you wake up and the day you find a passion for something and you want to help others, that's the day that your life really starts. Because sometimes we go through life and mentally we're not really there, right? Like they say that, you know, when you turn 21, that's like the best year of your life, but it really isn't. The best year of your life is when you wake up and you want to figure out how to help the world, how to help others, how to help your family. And this is why BitFundZa was created, ladies and gentlemen. BitFundZa was created because my partner, Ray Fulmer, and I decided, you know what, we're sick and tired of companies coming in, allowing you to build it for a couple months or a year, and then they're gone with your money. You know, to me, that model is archaic and it's broken. This is why we started BitFundZa as a decentralized peer-to-peer donation platform so that the people just like you and your teams have the power, right? Our company holds no money. There's no central exchange here, guys. Everything's decentralized. Members send Bitcoin donations peer-to-peer, kind of like what you would do with GoFundMe, guys, or Kickstarter, right? Because ultimately, people are sending donations to each other. That's why it's so powerful, because at the end of the day, they got to send donations to your blockchain.info wallet, and the only person that can run off with your Bitcoin is you, right? Now, one thing I will tell you guys, on a daily basis, I want you looking at coinmarketcap.com. You see this page right here? On a daily basis, I just come here just to see what's going on with the market, right? Just to see how my trades are doing. In the future, you'll learn to trade just like we do. We'll give you the advice. You do your own due diligence, and then you can do whatever you want with your Bitcoin, right? It's your money. But what you want to really focus on when you talk to people, guys, and you share this site right here, at any given time, if you look up here on the left-hand side, you see that there's 1,148 digital currencies around the world being bought and sold. You always want to talk about the market cap because it's swelling. Guys, a few months ago, and probably about, if you've been with me, you know, over a year, 2 years, I mean, we still remember when we're trying to get to a $20 billion market cap, a $10 billion market cap, guys. And now we are pushing, you know, $150, $200 billion in market cap, and that's nothing. You know, people think that that's a big number, but literally Bitcoin one day would be a $1 trillion a year industry by itself. By itself, guys. I'm not even talking about alternative coins. I'm just talking about Bitcoin. So when you talk to people about this, remember, always show them, hey, look, there's over 1,100 digital currencies. Our market cap is swelling. If you got a pen and a piece of paper, make sure you write it down, right? Because I want you to be able to explain this just like I do, and on a daily basis, you're going to be exploding your residual Bitcoin. Now, you talk about the 24-hour volume, you tell them, hey, look, like in the last 24 hours, we've had almost $2 billion in volume, and the Bitcoin dominance is at 48.9%. And what that means, guys, is right now, Bitcoin has almost half of the market share, which in the future, that won't happen because so many other amazing technologies are coming out. So I always go over with people just the first 10, right? Like you see me on all our webinars. I go over the top 10, and the easiest way to do it is you just talk about the name. You don't have to talk about it in depth. You just say, look, guys, right now Bitcoin's the alpha. It started everything in 2009. You know, there was a white paper in 2008 by a person or a group of people with the pseudonym of Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, what they did, guys, was they created a digital currency that was decentralized, right? That white paper described a lot of phenomenal technologies, But at the end of the day, blockchain makes everything run, guys. When you have an open public ledger that's borderless and very transparent, and it's very efficient, very secure, this is why many businesses are putting patents in for blockchain. But in 2009, Bitcoin was worth less than a penny, guys. It was about 3/10, 4/10 of a penny. And if you would have put in about $100 in October of 2009, today you'd be sitting about $75 to $100 million. So imagine, timing is so phenomenal, right? And timing is still great, because even though you missed out on Bitcoin at a penny, there's still a lot of other technologies that we'll teach you about that you'll be able to take massive, massive advantage of. But you see, Bitcoin has a market cap of $72.2 billion. Right now, it's being bought and sold at $4,351.91. Now, let me ask everybody in the chat: would you have rather, if you would have bought Bitcoin at a penny, right? And let's say you would have put $10, $50 at a penny, right? And in today's market, being able to sell it at $4,351, how many of you would be super excited about somebody teaching you about that back in 2009? I know I would have, because back when I read the white paper, nobody was really teaching anybody about Bitcoin. There was no merchants really taking it. But I mean, let me just read some messages. Gladys says, me. I mean, Gladys, can you imagine if you would have just had 1,000 Bitcoin back in the day, and today you were selling it at $4,000 of Bitcoin, and you got it at a penny? Oh my God. Me too. I mean, look, I missed out on Bitcoin at a penny, at 5 cents, at $10. In 2012, guys, I started buying Bitcoin at $60, $80, $100, and I tell people this: I thought I was so late, right? Because people were making fun of me, telling me it was a Ponzi scheme. But I don't listen to people because they don't pay my bills. I could care less. When you have a passion for something and you study it and you see the benefit of it globally, do not care about those people that have no clue what they're talking about. It's kind of like bankers. Like Peter, let me ask Peter this question because he's in South Africa. In South Africa, Peter, do they print so much money that literally the paper money has hardly any value? I mean, I see like many of my friends in Africa show me $100 million bills, ridiculous amounts. But the central banks are printing so much money right now that it's devaluing their currency. And this is why people are in love with Bitcoin, guys, because it's decentralized and deflationary. So all those things will help you talk about Bitcoin in general. But then, all you have to do is just go over the top 10 with them and just say, look, Ethereum is a smart contract-based technology. Their coin is called Ether. And right now they're at a $29.3 billion market cap, and they got there faster than Bitcoin, right? They're being bought and sold at $308.73 per Ether coin. Now, you can talk about Ripple, and Ripple is phenomenal technology that is going to help commercial banks with remittance, basically sending money to different parts of the world, whether it's domestic or international. But remember this, guys, banks have been making money off of our backs for years, right? They've been taking advantage of us for years, and Ripple will give us the ability to make money off the backs of banks now, because it's going to make remittance faster, cheaper, more efficient. And they've got a $9 billion market cap right now and being bought and sold at 23.5 cents. So I'm just giving you some background on these coins. That way you can sound very, very well versed when you talk about digital currencies. Now, Bitcoin Cash is a fork of Bitcoin, guys. Obviously, there is a political agenda in August, and this is why they forked Bitcoin. And we'll see that again and again and again. They're coming out. They're talking about coming out with Bitcoin Gold. Hopefully, they don't dilute the brand too much, right? Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Bronze, Bitcoin Copper, Bitcoin Platinum. So it's going to happen, but at the end of the day, nothing's going to dethrone the alpha, right? The apex predator. Now, we wish Bitcoin Cash a lot of success because remember, guys, as these digital technologies have success, so do we, right? And right now, they're at a $5.9 billion market cap, almost $6 billion, and they're being bought and sold at $356.66. Now, I know I don't have to tell anybody on this webinar that Litecoin is probably one of my absolute favorite technologies because you hear me talk about it like it's my girlfriend, right? And at the end of the day, I hope my supermodel girlfriend doesn't get mad at me because I tell her that I'd probably trade her in for a lot of Litecoin. But Litecoin is one of the most undervalued technologies that's on the market right now, guys. They have a phenomenal development team. That you can use this technology for micropayments, nano payments. It's very cheap to send Litecoin anywhere around the world, lightning fast. They have a market cap right now of $2.7 billion. And literally, guys, I'm telling you this right now. Litecoin, when it's all said and done, because of their development team and Charlie Lee. Charlie Lee's my homeboy on LinkedIn. What's up, Charlie Lee? I mean, they literally are going to do things that are going to help all other digital currencies because of what they're developing, from cross-atomic chain swaps to, I mean, there's so much stuff that I'm going to teach you about Litecoin in the future. Right now, they're being bought and sold at $51.79, and I tell you right now, one day that's going to be 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. They'll be the silver to Bitcoin's gold. But I tell everybody, you know, I have massive accumulations in about 60 different digital currencies, and Litecoin is one of my top 3. And again, I'm not giving you trading advice, guys. Like I said, these are unregistered securities. You don't need a license to buy and sell digital currencies. But I do ask you to do your due diligence, right? I'll teach you everything you need to learn. But at the end of the day, I want you to become so educated that you are obviously your own person and you're so educated and it's like you have a PhD. So now let's look at Dash, right? Dash is at $2.3 billion, $307.15. The reason why Dash will be very valuable, guys, is because in the future, coins that deal with instant payments and anonymity, because many people don't like all their information on the interwebs. This is why coins like Dash, and let me just scroll down so you can see another one that's usually in the top 10, and we talk about it a lot, Monero. So Dash and Monero are two digital currencies that the future, like literally, imagine this. Imagine that all your information was on the internet, kind of like, look at Equifax, right? How many of you know that Equifax got hacked? You know, I didn't know that until I woke up one day and I was reading all these Facebook postings of people that were saying, hey, you know, Equifax got hacked, all my information is on the internet. And I was like, well, again, a centralized server, right? When you have a centralized server, that's what normally happens. And we've heard Kmart, hacks happen all the time, right? Kmart, Home Depot, banks have been hacked. I mean, it's just the way that the world works, guys. If you have something that's centralized, people are always going to try and hack it. And so what I tell people is this is why a decentralized blockchain is so much more valuable, right? But when you have digital tokens that use a lot of anonymity, this is why you're going to get a lot of people from around the world that obviously are pushing the price of Dash. I mean, look at Dash, guys. It is at $307.15. So imagine, you know, in the future when more and more people are saying, you know what, I don't want to use Bitcoin, because obviously Bitcoin is an open public ledger, right? You can see transactions, how many Bitcoins you have in your Bitcoin wallet or your address. And this is why coins like Dash and Monero will do very, very well in the future. Now, when we talk about NEM, guys, what you got to remember about NEM is it's a smart asset blockchain, and it's built for performance. So, you know, blockchain technology offers a streamlined method of maintaining like a secure ledger of transactions compared to a traditional database. But NEM is pretty powerful because it was designed and coded from the ground up for scale and speed. And what's going to happen, guys, you're going to have a lot of developers that are going to be using NEM in the future because of its ease of development, security, and it's very customizable. But they're already at a $1.8 billion market cap, and they're being bought and sold at $20.8 cents. And guys, literally, some of these technologies for developers are going to be creating some brand new and very disruptive technologies. That's what I tell people. You want to look for those up-and-coming technologies that people are trying to adopt massively. Now, NEO is the Chinese Ethereum, guys. They've got an ICO coming out called Red Pulse. That's going to be the very first one for NEO. But imagine Ethereum has exploded. I mean, you saw that Ethereum was at $308.73. Remember, China is one of the most mature cryptocurrency markets. And even though the government and banking institutions in China are putting a lot of pressure, the Chinese love to gamble. I mean, that's why Macau is, I think it's like 5 or 6 times bigger than Las Vegas, because Chinese they just love to gamble. And that's why we believe that NEO would be above and beyond a very, very disruptive technology for decades to come. $1.6 billion in market cap, 33.84 cents per NEO token. So like I tell people, guys, you always want to take advantage of technologies when they're young, right? IOTA comes in at number 9, 1.4 billion in market cap, 51.1 cents per IOTA. They give you a gaggle of coins, guys. It's not this is not 51.1 cents per token. It's like a bunch of tokens, and they do it in millions and hundreds, and they've got all kinds of weird technology, not weird technology, but the way they give you a accumulation of coins for this 51.1 cents. Now, the Internet of Things, guys, as you know, we're such a connected society. At the end of the day, many of you are on a tablet right now. Many of you are on a smart device. I mean, guys, I go to like my family's residences, like homes, townhomes, apartments, and many of them have automated systems. How many of you on this webinar have like a smart home where you can do like your lights? You can like turn on your lights from your app, or you can lock your door, or you know, turn on your stove, or I mean, ultimately, the Internet of Things is pretty powerful because I mean, even like I have friends that have these cameras in their houses. They can go to an app, look at it. They can turn on their alarm, turn off their alarm, open the garage, make their coffee. I mean, smart devices are pretty phenomenal, guys. And Peter just told me that Zimbabwe had a 1 million banknote. Hey, that's pretty awesome, Peter. But pretty soon you'll probably have a $5 million banknote, because I see some different countries that literally have like $100 million bills and all kinds of crazy stuff. But yeah, guys, Internet of Things going to be really big in 2020. But this is why I'm telling y'all, you know, the good background that you get on these tokens, on these digital currencies, the better you'll be able to make positive decisions in the future with your accumulations. Now, to round up the top 10, we have Monero at a $1.3 billion market cap, and obviously being bought and sold at $91.28. And like I said, guys, Monero, Dash, any token in the future that really deals with anonymity and instant pay, they're going to be basically they're going to be in need, because how many of you like having all your information out on the interwebs? I mean, many of us don't, right? So now you know how to really talk about digital currencies, guys. You have enough information, and you can review. This webinar is being recorded, so you can review it anytime you want. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, you know, about how to explain the technology. I'm not going to teach you how to trade yet, because you got to get a foundation. Once you get a foundation and you can explain it, then, you know, obviously those people that are at certain levels in BitFundZa will get the trading training. So the trading is not for people on level 1 or 2. You know, ultimately the trading will be more for people on level 3, 4, and 5. And ultimately in the future we will have a platform where we'll have videos, we'll have PDFs, all kinds of documents, because at the end of the day, I want y'all to treat this like it's a business, right? Because when you treat it like it's a business, you win massively. And when you treat it like a hobby, well, guess what? It pays you like a hobby, right? Because ultimately, this is why I'm trying to train y'all how to present this, because the more you know, right, the easier it is to really kind of educate people and get them super fired up. If you don't tell anybody, you can't make any money if you're an undercover BitFundZa agent, right? Like you absolutely have to learn. You have to read these. You have to take notes, because at the end of the day, look, you're just an extension of me, right? My knowledge is your knowledge. So when you can pick up what I know, that's why I want to teach. You know, every Saturday, the reason why I want to teach y'all is because I want y'all to make so much money that it changes not just your life, but your children's lives, your church, right? Like I want you to be able to help your churches, your 501c3 nonprofits in your communities. There's so much benefit to what I'm trying to accomplish here, because I'm not just thinking about personal gain. I'm thinking about helping the communities that you live in. So this is why I want you to really kind of get all of this down and start learning more and more, because there's going to be a day when you're going to be doing presentations. You can do, you know, personal presentations, one-on-ones, groups, webinars, conference calls. That's really where you really shine, because at the end of the day, you got to lead from the front, right? Because if you're just always afraid to break out of that comfort zone, you're never gonna really break through and make that generational wealth.